Before starting this video, I just want to say this is the beginning of my series about theme of order and chaos in movies, and if you like this video, you look forward for two more videos about two other movies that explore this theme. I will say what movie is next at the end of this video, and now let's get started. As I said in my series announcement, in every one of these movies there are two characters that carry these rivaling themes, and in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest these are obviously M.K. Murphy. I'll call him Randall because it's kinda easier for me, played by Jack Nicholson, and Nurse Ratched, played by Louise Fletcher. But what is so unique for this movie is that it reversed conventional roles of chaos and order in story. It does this by making chaos force of protagonism and order the force of antagonism. It does this by showing the absolute worst side of order, in that is the order through suppression and the fear. When we meet our main character, Randall, he's in this mental hospital because of having sex with underage girl and having trouble with fights in prison. But what we soon realize is that he wanted to get signed up here because he simply doesn't like to work in prison. From this we obviously realize that he is lazy, but also that he can't fit in a society. But then he comes to this mental hospital, and this is where our beautiful story began. And what I really love about this movie is that it really sells you on an idea that these people are crazy but that they are still human. Because movies often like to separate these two categories, from shattering Bill to Martini. In this movie, these are people, like they're real characters with real motivations, real emotions that just could hardly fit in our society. And then Randall comes there, and I love the change he brings to the place. One of my favorite, probably my favorite scene in the whole movie is when, like this Hep Erlich, I think his name is called, is like sharing his story with the group, and the chaos in the room that this story brings, it's beautiful to watch. They're kind of making fun of him, but the idea of this, all these different personalities clashing, and every like is just pure chaos, and the Randall is just watching this in total amusement, like with this giant smile. Then the doctors came there, and then you see it, the stare down. Randall looking at Nurse Ratchet's face, the face that doesn't have a single emotion for the sight before her. Not the disgust, not the sadness, nothing like. But this is the same face that showed fear and anger when Randall asked her to change the schedule because of a baseball game. And this is where order comes into place, because Nurse Ratched wants to keep order in this place no matter what the cost. She's suppressing any change in hospital or in the minds of her patients with a strict daily routine and with drugs and medicine. For me, at least, she's a psycho, a sadist that enjoys keeping these ill people in her cage until they are basically addicted to it. And she's the symbol of fear for them, because she knows what buttons you need to be pushed in order to break their spirit. We see this, they are when they are all voting for this, if they will watch this baseball game, and nobody wants to oppose her. Nobody expects Randall, and these two are like basically natural enemies in this movie. Randall realizes how much all of this is crazy when he learned that most of people here are not here by their own will. And he realized that suppression and fear that this woman is shining with created another sickness in their minds. They became slaves to this place, so he brings a chaos, and it's beautiful to watch. I love it. I can go talking all whole day how much I love the scene when they're all on the boat, and or when Randall is teaching Chief how to play basketball. He's laughing in the face of the established order, and it's glorious to watch. But Nurse Ratched still wants to keep him in this hospital because the idea that one of her patients can go out of this place with their own will is just impossible for her. And like everybody else, this place took a toll on Randall as well. Even him, the symbol of freedom of this place, became enchained by it. There is a scene when they're all getting drunk, but he's planning to escape this place, and he's looking at them smiling. But when he looks through the opened window to the path to freedom almost, He looks kinda confused. He doesn't realize why he can't go through that window. And next morning the chance passed, and next morning he sees Billy arguing with Nurse Ratched. And that scene really showed how much Billy grew as a character. Like, he can stand on his own against Nurse Ratched, but then the Ratched mentions his mother, and it just breaks Billy because his mother is the symbol, like, because Billy's mother for Billy is like that is the woman who like destroyed his life almost. And seeing this, McCarthy like realizes what this place will do to him eventually if he stays, and he tries to escape, but then Billy commits suicide, and then Randall just snaps right there. Because he truly believed that this boy could have the future outside of these walls. He even got him a girl because he truly believed and cared about him. But now the wretched Duke couldn't stand one of her patients arguing with her, popping the bubble that she created around this place, and then she used Billy's mother. And seeing this, Randall knows what will happen if he attacked Nurse Ratched, but he just doesn't give a fuck. He tries to kill her, and with doing this, he became something even greater for the people in this room, something even greater than Nurse Ratched. And in one of them, it finally evokes something. Chief will carry on Randall's spirit. When he sees Randall lobotomized, Chief frees him from this half-life. But with doing this, he also prevented other patients from seeing Randall like this, like their legend becoming a plant almost. Then he comes to the sink and pulls it out of the ground, like Randall once tried, raising it like he once raised the ball that Randall gave him. And he finally broke the window and he got out. We see him running to the forest, hopefully escaping, and that's the last shot of him. Randall maybe never left that hospital, but I think he would say worth it if he saw this scene. So that's it. In this movie we saw a writer's triumph in creating a narrative where he reversed common standards, showing us the power of suppression and fear disguised as an established order, and the spark of free spirit that is created by making fun of it. I got a little poetic here, but I really love this movie. And all of these things are honestly mostly bought by wonderful set of actors. Firstly, obviously, Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher. But all other people like Milos Forman and others did a pretty good job, did a very good job as well, obviously. But in the next part of this series, we'll see something different, as something a bit more balanced. We'll talk about the movie that showed us how we are enslaved by our society, and also how the chaos is a solution, but a dangerous one if it gets out of control. And although the first rule of the Fight Club is not to talk about it, we'll make an excuse. Till then, have a good day. Bye.